snorkeling to find sunken Disney treasures, churro Mickey waffles, a dinner with frozen characters, and a farewell party. What does all of this have in common? Well, these are just some of the adventures we experienced during day 3 of sailing on the Disney Wish Very Merrytime cruise, and of course we want to bring you along, so come along with us and let's do day 3. Of course, starting off the day right again, we started with breakfast at Marceline Market, because there was a lot we had planned for this morning. We wanted to get off the ship quickly, so we didn't want to spend a ton of time at breakfast, but the other main thing that we wanted to check out were Churro Mickey waffles. When you're sailing on the Disney Wish, they do special Churro Mickey waffle day on the final full day of your sailing in that morning. So of course we wanted to check out Marceline Market as a breakfast. It was the very first time we had been trying them. And this was silly of me, but I thought that a Churro Mickey waffle was basically just a regular Mickey waffle with some cinnamon sugar or sugar coating on it. No, this is straight up a churro in Mickey waffle form. It was delicious. We may or may not have had 3 each, and highly recommend checking out Churro Mickey waffle day if you're sailing on the Wish. But Marceline Market was delicious. We absolutely loved everything there. And like I said before, we were on a bit of a time schedule, so we had to get down to the main hall for 9 a.m. to experience the Royal Gathering. Before we talk about our experience there, I wanted to tell you a bit about what the Royal Gathering is and how you can get a reservation for this. This is an exclusive special meet and greet that happens in the main hall with the Disney princesses. And the nice thing about it is there's multiple princesses and characters that you can meet all at once in one area. But you do have to have a reservation to do this. Reservations go available 30 days in advance before your sailing date, and it's the same day that you can check into your cruise. So whenever you add your documents and you choose your port arrival time, this is when you can book that Royal Gathering. My tip to you would be to book the Royal Gathering before you go to do your check-in. The check-in will be there, that can wait, but this Royal Gathering books up very quickly. You can choose it for the second day and the third day of your sailing. Looking back, I wish I had done it on day 2, because then we could have gotten off the ship quicker to get to Castaway Cay, which we will talk about in a little bit. But when I was booking it, you will see everybody that's sailing in your party that you can add into this reservation. And I think there were time slots every 15 minutes from 9 to 10 a.m. I believe you can go to guest services to get a reservation if you didn't get one ahead of time, but these go very quickly. We had a great time though. We loved meeting Tiana, Rapunzel, and Moana, but the one character I really wanted to see was Belle because she was in her Christmas dress. Since it was a very Merrytime cruise, all the other princesses had a little bit more of a festive addition to their outfits. The only thing that I wish I had done for this, and this is something that you can do for me or prepare for your cruise, is to have some type of item that you can bring with you that the princesses can sign to have a little souvenir or a memento of your time there. What I wish I had done was bring one of those photo frame mattings for all the princesses to sign, and then later on go and print out a photo to put in there of my sisters and I, so that way we could have a fun personalized souvenir from the cruise. This was so much more laid back than some of the other meet and greets that we had experienced, and the princesses are very intentional and do a really good job at giving you one-on-one time. We were in and out of the Royal Gathering, and we went into it being dressed and had everything for the main event that we wanted to do that day, Castaway Cay. This was day 3. It was our port day at Castaway Cay, Disney's private island. So immediately from the Royal Gathering, we went downstairs. We had all of our items, all of our outfits, and essentials for Castaway Cay that we could go straight ashore. Now, this is my tip to you as well. As early as possible, I would recommend getting breakfast and get off the ship to get on to Castaway Cay. The main reason being the character meet and greets that you can do on the island. I thought I saw it somewhere that the characters are only out for a little bit of hours in the morning since it gets hot later on in the day. We finally got ashore around 9:30 a.m. and from 9:30 to 10 a.m. we were able to meet Minnie Mouse, Pluto, and Goofy. There were 3 meet and greets we could do. I think Daisy was a little bit closer to the ship, but it seems like the characters swap in and out intermittently, and we loved our meet and greets with them, especially because they're in their special Castaway Cay outfits. And since it was still early enough in the day, we felt like the wait times for the meet and greets weren't as long as they probably get later on in the morning. Highly recommend meeting them. Their costumes are so cute, and I was so excited to see Minnie Mouse in her dress. So we got to meet the characters. That was one thing on my bucket list. The other thing that my sister wanted to do that was on her Castaway Cay bucket list was running the Castaway Cay 5K. Believe it or not, there is a 5K that you can run on this island. It is completely free. There is no sign up involved. And if you're wanting to do it, this is a couple of tips that I wanted to share. Like I said, there's no sign up involved. There's nobody supervising this. You can do this as quick or as slow as you want. And to get started, head to the bike rental shack. You'll want to do this because they have a map of where the course is at. It's kind of laid out whenever you are running, but there's a section that you need to do a loop twice. So we were happy that we went to the the bike rental shack at first, so that way we could figure out where the course was at, let them know we were running it so they could see us come back, because you actually get a medal whenever you complete it. Another perk of getting on the island early is doing this 5K early in the day before it gets hot later on in the morning. We started around 10:15 a.m. And the nice thing was that there are these tall plants and vegetation and bushes that are up around some of the trail portion, that the way that the sun was that day made the trail still shadowed and not in direct sunlight. Because I could see if you do this in the middle of the day, there is no shade at all. Part of it is on an airplane runway, and then the other part is just trails that are around the island. So doing it early enough will guarantee some shade. And the other perk that I didn't realize is they have water stations located around the 5K loop. You don't have to worry about bringing water, and there's water stops around, so that way you can rehydrate while you're doing this 5K. They also have a lookout tower halfway through. That's about 2 or 3 stories up. So it is a little bit of walking that you have to do additional to the 5K, but I would recommend doing this so you can see the island, you see the Wish in the distance, and it's neat to see what other parts of Castaway Cay look like other than just the beach areas. I really enjoyed running the 5K, especially with my sisters. They are very frequent runners. We'll be running the Disney Princess Half Marathon in March, and we love that it was a free addition to your Castaway Cay day as well.
I give a half mile.
Okay.
They're doing great.
The medal is also very cute. It's little Mickey Mouse running on Castaway Cay. Again, it's free and a fun memento of your time on the island. We finished up with the race and really worked up an appetite, and we went to the quick service spot there that I think is called Cookies Barbecue. Going into the cruise, I was seeing reviews that the food on Castaway Cay was not very good, and that was far from what I experienced. We thought the food was delicious. There was this chicken sandwich that I had that was so good. They had lots of desserts. They had fresh fruit available that they were actively cutting in front of you that you could eat. Of course, the soda fountains and the beverages that you could drink. The mac and cheese was very good, and we had to get some cookies and brownies. So overall, we really enjoyed the meal on Castaway Cay. Not sure if it's usually like that, but thought it was another great dining option on the cruise. Then you don't have to feel like you have to go back on the ship to eat. There was a second item that I had on my checklist for Castaway Cay, and that was snorkeling to see the sunken Disney treasures that were in the snorkeling cove. In case you didn't know, there's a snorkeling area at one of the beaches at Castaway Cay, and located in the water are several sunken statues that you can snorkel to see. Before we get to the statues, let me just share a couple of tips with you. You will want to have snorkel gear whenever you do this, and we actually brought our own, which is what I would recommend to you. Purchase your snorkel gear ahead of time and bring it with you onto the island, because I went to the rental shack and I think it was around $45 for adults and maybe $25 for kids, and that's just to rent the snorkel gear. So definitely get your gear ahead of time. It'll be a lot cheaper. We visited in mid-November, so it was still warm enough to do some swimming and snorkel out to see these statues. But the thing I had seen in previous videos was the water was very murky and it was kind of hard to see the statues. But the day that we went, the water was so clear, so I was so excited about that. The other thing is, it is a little bit of a swim to get out to where the statues are located. We didn't have flippers, but if you are not a strong swimmer or you want to get there faster, purchase some flippers to bring with you. We were out there for probably an hour just swimming around, seeing these statues. And before getting to them, there were some other coral reefs and other sunken objects that you could see a lot of fish and anemones and other sea life down below you. You do have to wear a life vest whenever you're doing this. It's completely free to use the life vest, but we loved seeing the fish. It was so cool to see them so close. They were right beneath you. And then finally, we got to seeing some of the statues. Initially, when I was looking out into this little snorkel cove, I was like, how are we supposed to find these statues? It's such a big area. But the nice thing is they have these buoys that are located either near the statue or right above it. So you know the general area of where the statue is going to be located, so you're not just swimming around aimlessly. The first statue we saw was Prince Eric from Ariel. You can see him exactly like in the movie, and it was so cool to see them so close. It is a little intimidating initially. It's not something that I've ever done, to go and snorkel to see something like this. Depending on how low or high the tide is, you can kind of touch them, but most of them are far enough down that you won't touch them. The other one that we saw was Mickey Mouse at the front of a ship. We also saw Daisy Duck at the front of a ship. There's a statue of Minnie Mouse down in the water. We also saw the Nautilus, which I didn't realize this ahead of time, but this is actually one of the old ride vehicles that was at Magic Kingdom that they brought to Castaway Cay. I thought that was so cool and such a fun hidden detail. Lots of other reefs that you can see fish are swimming around and other sea life connected to them. The final one that we saw was Boo's Door, and this one was very cute. I had seen some comments online too that these statues used to be covered with more sea life and they maybe were recently cleaned. So depending on when you are going, you may be able to see them a little bit better than others. But don't miss out like we did. There is actually a Sunken Dumbo ride vehicle also in this snorkeling cove. I completely forgot to go and find that one. But overall, this was one of my favorite things that we had done on Castaway Cay. It is so memorable, a very unique activity to do on this port day, especially if the weather is beautiful out. It didn't feel too hot. The water was a little bit chilly whenever we went, but I loved seeing the crystal clear blue water. The fish below were so neat, and it was a really fun activity to go and find all of these statues. Another essential I wanted to recommend bringing whenever you're doing Castaway Cay is bringing either an underwater camera or a underwater phone case, so that way you can take photos whenever you are swimming around. I use the Insta360 Go 3S camera to get all of these videos, but I have seen a lot of people that go to water parks take the waterproof phone case or the phone pouch, and that takes great videos and photos as well. At this point, we were very active in our day, and it was time to relax and enjoy other parts of Castaway Cay. The one thing I didn't know going into our time there, like there is on the ship in over 18 area, there is an over 18 area on Castaway Cay. So we took one of the trams to get there, so that way we didn't have to walk. We actually had ran past this earlier whenever we were doing the 5K, but once we got there, we could not believe how quiet Serenity Bay is. That is the over 18 area at Castaway Cay. And what was very unique about this area is for some reason the water felt warmer. It was a lot more shallow compared to the snorkeling area that we went to. And the water is crystal clear. There were shells on the beach that we could go and find. Of course, you have to leave them there, but this was a very relaxing area to go and hang out on. So if you are over 18 and able to do this, I would highly recommend going to Serenity Bay for the rest of your day at Castaway Cay. My sisters and I ended up taking a little bit of a nap and doing some sunbathing to enjoy the rest of our port day at Castaway Cay. As we were there, I had to show you guys some of the other essentials that I had packed that were very helpful for our day there. The one thing they mentioned on the ship, and I was glad that I had brought ahead of time, was packing sunscreen. Of course, it's a beach area, it's an island, but there wasn't a ton of shade whenever you were walking around other than the umbrellas or some of the trees that were on the beach. They said it on the ship too, but keep applying sunscreen, especially when you're snorkeling. You might have your back to the sun, or you may be laying out in the sun and you don't want to get sunburned. So I packed sunscreen. I had my waterproof camera. I had this collapsible pouch backpack, a sunscreen lip balm, portable charger to recharge my phone, of course, a water bottle to stay hydrated. That way I didn't have to go back and forth from either the bar or the quick service area to get water. You can't go without sunglasses, and a comfortable swimsuit. Those are all the essentials that I packed with myself to go to Castaway Cay, and would recommend packing that with you if you were going to Castaway Cay. Also, since you do so much walking on this island, I'd recommend a good pair of sandals. You know, I love the croc wedges. If you've seen my videos before, and I wore the pink For You croc wedges, which were great to strap on my feet and feel comfortable whenever walking around. We decided to head back around 3 p.m. because I think our time back on the ship was either 4 or 4:30. And at this point, Castaway Cay was pretty dead. I think that has to do with some of the families going back on the ship so that way they can get ready for the first dinner seating. But we headed back just to make sure that we would get on the ship in time, enjoy a leisurely walk back to Castaway Cay, and we were very sad to leave the island. This was definitely one of our highlights of the trip, and whenever having a port day here, we recommend getting off and doing at least one of these activities. The rest of that afternoon, we spent on the back of the ship in the infinity pool. Of course, we love that area so much. Did some swimming in the pools. It was pretty empty there. Again, like I said, I think a lot of families were getting ready for the first dinner seating. And the one other thing that I wanted to check out on the Wish that I hadn't yet was the Cove Cafe. This is a special coffee cafe that's located in the over 18 area on the Disney Wish. And I really wanted to get one of those lattes that have the Disney art printed on the top. So I went in and actually did something that I don't usually do. I had the barista surprise me with what he was making and surprise me with the character that he added onto the top, because he said there were over 120 options. So I said, you go ahead and just choose one. I'm not gonna lie, I was a little nervous halfway through whenever he told me what the flavor was. He was making me a pistachio coconut latte, which I had never had either of those flavors together in a coffee form. And he added vanilla pea von sweets onto the top of the coffee. I tried it though, and it was delicious. If anything, I didn't really notice a distinct taste about it. I was very happy to have another good cup of coffee again, because to be honest, the coffee on the ship isn't very good. It was a beautiful sunset that evening, so we hung out on the ship, ship, enjoyed the coffee, saw some views as we were pulling away from Castaway Cay, went back to the room after hanging out so that way we could get in our outfits for our last rotational dinner, which was at Arendelle. While we were getting ready, I was playing with the TV and noticed that you can actually look at your photos from the cruise on the TV. They do a little slideshow. So they have Photopass cast members located around the ship that will take your photo, whether it's during dinner or with characters or at different photo spots. You can stop and get photos. We personally did not purchase the photo package because it is a little bit expensive, but I did really enjoy looking through the different photos that they did take of us. And you can always give your phone to a cast member and they will take a photo of you as well if you didn't want to get the photo package. The first activity we wanted to do that evening was watch Aladdin in the theater. This is a live action show that you can watch. There's no filming, so I didn't record anything, but the genie is hilarious. If there's any show that you see on the Wish, I heard the Little Mermaid show was good, but Aladdin was really good. We thought it was a good mix of funny and did a great job telling the story. While I was here too, I wanted to show you some features of the Disney Navigator app. This is a special app that you can download whenever you're on the cruise to share a lot of details about your booking, sailing on the Wish, and different activities that happen while you were there. The main detail that I really liked is it listed out all of the lists of activities happening that day. And since there's so much happening on this ship, you can actually go through and heart the different activities so that way you have it in your schedule and you don't miss it. Definitely recommend downloading this app. There's not many features that you can see before you're sailing, but I loved having this once you connect to the Wi-Fi as a way to remind me of what I wanted to do in terms of activities. We had time before our Arendelle dinner, and so being the Disney detail person that I am, we went and walked around and saw more of the details that are added to the Wish. Because what I didn't realize is there's actually hidden Disney details in all of the decor whenever you're walking around the Wish. One of the main being near the elevators in the main staircases, every level that you go on, it is themed after a different Disney princess. When you're walking along the carpets, looking up at the lights, photos on the walls, it's all themed to different Disney princesses. And I didn't realize the amount of detail that went into the decor. Yes, I am that crazy person that likes to look at every little hidden thing. So I thought it would be cool to show you just so you could see some of the details before you are sailing. Some of the main princesses that are featured are Cinderella. I saw some Sleeping Beauty details. And if anything, I want some of this decor in my house. I loved the carpets. The lighting was so cool. Everything down to the different room numbers on the staterooms were even different. We were in the Little Mermaid area section of rooms, but we also saw Sleeping Beauty and Cinderella details. This was also another great time for us to finish up our pixie dusting, which essentially was walking around the different Disney rooms and seeing anybody that had a fish extender out or some type of cubby that we could leave a little gift for them. This was such a small little thing. We brought gifts ahead of time to pixie dust rooms and would highly recommend if you are interested in doing something like this. We are pixie dusting this door because I like their Christmas lights. Let's give them a little key and some chopsticks. Okay. They were doing a story time with Santa, and then it was time for us to eat at Arendelle. Of all the dinners, this was actually the one I was anticipating the most, but actually liked the least. There was nothing wrong with this dinner or any of the cast members or anything that involved it. For whatever reason, it did feel very rushed whenever we were there. I'm not sure if it was because this was the very final dinner in Arendelle showing that was happening on the Wish, since it was the third day and we were the second seating. But during this dinner, of course, you have your appetizers, you have your main course, you have desserts, the bread service. And what's really neat is in the center of the restaurant, there's this stage and there's characters that come out and sing songs and also tell a story while you are dining.
Hello everyone, oh it is so good to see all of you. I am Morgan and I am pleased to be welcoming you to Arendelle.
Again, all of the decor and the lighting in the restaurant adds to the experience. I was most excited to see Oaken and Olaf come through to make a little appearance.
Hello everyone, welcome. It is so good to see all of you. We're about to play a game.
You guys like playing games?
Yeah? I love games! Okay, we are going to guess what I am, yeah?
Play this all the time.
He must be very good at guessing then, yeah? Okay, here we go everyone.
Oh, Sven!
Grizzly bear.
Oh yes, I just Sven the reindeer, yeah? Very cute. Okay, family. Should we try another one? Yeah.
Keep the dancing going.
Okay, here we go, yeah? Yes, I was Olaf. Everybody, I was Olaf, yeah?
Oh.
The little snowman, I think please have worked on your guessing skills, okay?
For Disney, 11 years.
Oh, if you say so, but we must go. Oh, we'll see you down the party, yeah?
Thank you.
So great seeing all of you. We really need to do this again. Hey, Anna, Christoph, can you get engaged again? I don't think that's how that works.
And this was very similar to the Worlds of Marvel dinner, where I thought it was going to be more of a character meal where you could have more one-on-one time with the characters, but their meeting was very quick. They come around, probably talk to you for maybe about 30 seconds, and then make their way to the other tables.
Wait a minute. I don't think Olaf will be able to tell us apart tonight.
Yeah. Yeah.
Is everyone enjoying dinner so far?
Very good.
It's the best. Great to see you.
Thank you. Hello.
I love the reindeer antlers you're wearing.
Yes.
Let's do your shopping at the same trading post as my sister. Oftentimes Oaken will even throw in a free trip to the sauna to you, which still happens to be Olaf's favorite place to relax. We do give him some extra permafrost, of course, just for you. Enjoy your evening.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining us.
All in all, too, the food was very good. We liked all of the courses that we had, and if anything, I loved the chocolate cake that I had for dessert. It was some type of troll treat, and that chocolate was so rich and delicious. A great way to end our final dining on the Disney Wish. I don't always get souvenirs whenever I go on Disney experiences, but since this was my first cruise in a while, especially on the Wish, I wanted to get some type of souvenir to remember the trip by. The one thing that I really wanted was the Disney Wish Loungefly that has Rapunzel and Pascal on the front pocket, and then the two ears are kind of like a clear porthole. Unfortunately, they were sold out of this bag, so I went ahead and got the Captain Minnie Mouse Loungefly. I thought she was very unique since this was a Disney Cruise Line specific Loungefly, and hopefully we'll do a Disney cruise in the future that I can bring the bag back on. My sister Mandy loves collecting Disney pins, especially the mystery pin packs, and Madison had not done one before, so I went ahead and purchased 2 mystery pin packs of the porthole characters. Let's see which ones we got.
Today we got 2 mystery pin packs. These are exclusive Disney Cruise pin packs. There are 8 different ones you can get. We have our eye set on a couple. I really want Dumbo or Sailor Minnie. Madison?
Donald or Rapunzel. And this is my first time actually opening a pin pack, so very excited.
So this is how it goes. We open it, the camera sees the pin before we do, and then we get to look at the pin.
Okay.
Okay, our first pin.
Who is it?
Yay, he's so cute.
And he's sailing.
We don't like this one.
Okay. I'm trying to feel him. Okay. Here is our second one.
Megan's so nervous.
Okay.
Oh my gosh, you guys.
This is our second one. Ready, set. Oh. I felt his arms and I was like, oh shoot. Okay.
I got a peek because I'm not sure Megan's.
I don't know if she'll like that one. It's fine. Just show. Okay.
What if they're all the same?
It's
Sorry.
Fine, just show her. Okay. This is our third one.
Okay. Honestly, at first I saw that and I was like, no, they're literally the same.
Okay.
Megan wanted this one so bad. So we're going to take it home with us and not give it to her.
Okay. Here is the fourth one. Fourth and final.
Dumbo. Or Tinkerbell. Super mystery.
Tinkerbell isn't even on there. Okay, this is it.
Oh, still cute.
Oh, Goofy.
He's cute. Let's go pin trade. Honestly, worth it because you really wanted this one.
Unfortunately, the Rapunzel pin was the one I wanted the most, and the Steamboat Willie was the one I wanted the least. Those are the two that I personally got, but as always, it's fun to open a mystery pin pack. The last activity they had for the day was something I didn't even know was offered, and it was called Wishing Ever After. It was a farewell show to kind of finish off the cruise and give guests a chance to meet and greet with characters one last time.
Please welcome the princess with courageous kindness. It's Princess Cinderella! Up next, it's the man of the bayou. It's Princess Tiara! Or of course, it's the adventurous Princess Rapunzel! Make way for our wonderful wayfinder, Moana! That's not all. We have the gallant, gregarious, why, it's Goofy! And how about a howl for the hound that astounds? Everybody howl for Pluto! Who let the dogs out? I think it was me. Up next, it's our daring damsel. It's Daisy Duck! Once fabulous as ever, felicitations to our fearless feathered firecracker. It's Donald Duck! And of course, here comes the big cheese himself. It's your pal and mine. It's Mickey Mouse! And here she comes, straight from heaven, the master of the maps. It's your Captain Minnie Mouse!
Oh, there goes Donald.
But like I said, it is a final chance for guests to meet and greet with characters, and they have a ton of characters that come out. This is when I finally was able to meet Captain Minnie, especially since I had just purchased the Loungefly bag, but we also met Daisy, and all the characters are in their Disney Cruise Line outfits, so it's a great time to go and meet them if you haven't yet during your time on the Wish. They also have princesses and other characters out as well. The meet and greet is very quick though. It's not so much of a one-on-one time with the character, it's more so like getting a photo, meeting them, and then continuing on to other characters, so it is a very quick thing that happens. I think they give you about 15 to 20 minutes to meet and greet with characters, and then it goes into a final show with some of the characters giving you a farewell on the Wish.
Tonight, we have gathered once more to light that wishing star and together turn our stories from a once upon a time into a wishing ever after. Who amongst you have sailed with the sea-fitting scoundrels and joined a crew of rocking pirates? Say yo-ho! Say ar! Very scary. And I marvel at your tales of heroism. Who amongst you have assembled with the mightiest of heroes? Say Avengers, assemble! Very heroic, strong, and have enjoyed your tales from Arendelle. Who amongst you have dined and sang along with our royal sisters? I believe a customary woo-hoo is an honor. And how can I forget about the stories beyond the stars? Who amongst you have rallied with grooves and rebels from galaxies far, far away? May the force be with you. Now, speaking of wishes, it's time to summon our guest of honor, the fairy godmother. Everyone raise your hands up high and say bibbidi-bobbidi-boo.
Oh, my dears, the time draws near for our final wish. As I wave my wand, gaze toward our star and watch its light renew. Believe the wish you wish tonight, for wishes do come true.
Oh, very well. You heard the fairy godmother. Let's all say the magical words together. Wishes do come true.
The wish is granted.
We can't say goodbye without bringing your friends back one more time. All this let me say is thank you all so very much. One more hearty cheer for your captains, Mickey and Minnie Mouse! until we meet again in the next chapter. And from all of us here on the Disney Wish, to all of you traveling back to your very own kingdoms, remember, wishes, they do come. Very well, everyone. Safe travels.
Finished up with Wishing Ever After, and at that point we had a full day on day 3, so we went back to the room, got packed up unfortunately, and even though this was the saddest day being day 3, this was by far my favorite day of the entire cruise, mainly because we loved our time at Castaway Cay. There are so many activities that you can do on the island and definitely get a full day's worth of it. I loved meeting the characters, the snorkeling was so cool, and I love that they offer the free 5K that you can do at your own pace and get a souvenir medal. But at this point, if you haven't seen our day 1 or day 2 when sailing on the Disney Wish, you can check out those videos here. And thank you so much for enjoying day 3 with us. Let us know in the comments what your favorite part of the video was, what activity you would like to do on day 3 of the Disney Wish, and if you are planning on sailing soon. Thank you so much for sailing with us, and we'll see you guys in the next video. See you guys!